Pistons Live is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. The show goes on. The Pistons, despite being shorthanded, take it to the upstart New Orleans Pelicans. 129-108. All five starters in double figures tonight, led by Jalen Duren, who's having the best month of his career. 30 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He's standing by with Natalie Kerwin.
Jalen Duren, this was your 8th career 30-point game here tonight, and we've been seeing you get into your bag a little bit more lately, creating your own. You threw a jumper in there. What has gone into that for you to get to this level?
Just working on my game every day, trying to grow as a player, trying to grow as a human, as a man, you know what I mean? So just a testament to the work I've been putting in.
It felt like the fourth quarter is when you guys really blew this thing open. How did the defense spark that?
Just playing Pistons basketball, you know, we're a defensive-minded team first. We were able to put together some stops and get out and run in transition, and that helped everything.
I saw you had a conversation on the bench with Kevin Huerter when he finally checked out of tonight's game. I mean, the way he's been playing lately, how have you seen him just get more comfortable with your guys' group?
Yeah, I told him he loved that step back, but nah, Kevin Huerter, I mean, he's been great. Ever since he got here, I think he's fit right in with the team. He's been a guy who's been more than a shooter. He's been a guy who can get to the rim, make plays for others, and I mean, it's been a joy for me to play with him.
Without Cade Cunningham, a lot of these wins have come by committee. You guys had over 30 assists tonight as a team from all different guys. How are you making it work so well without your leader?
That's what it's going to take. It's going to take everybody top to bottom. I mean, you can't replace what Cade is as a player and what he does for this team, but I feel like we got more than enough guys to, you know, still get wins and still make things happen, and that's what you're seeing tonight.
Appreciate it, JD. Congrats.
Appreciate you.
All right, Jalen Duren in tonight's game with a 30-piece, his 8th career 30-piece, his 7th of the year.
In the words of Robert Earl Keen, the road goes on forever and the party never ends. Pistons, good bounce-back game after last night falling just short against the Hawks. Just a nice win for the boys to get back on the winning track.
Listen, that's a mic drop for Jalen Duren. I'm serious. If you heard the first 10 seconds of that talk with Natalie Kerwin, he said, I'm improving as a man, improving as a player, improving my team. That's a mic drop moment for Jalen Duren. Listen, this guy is growing right before our eyes. He is taking on the responsibility of being an everyday player. And what that responsibility means is there's no days off. He can't afford to have a headache. He can't afford to be sick. He can't afford to say, I don't feel like playing tonight, because this team really has come to rely on him being consistent, not only showing up, but also producing the numbers that say, I'll be the leader of this team. That's a tall task for a very young player in the NBA, and he has absorbed that role tremendously.
And the beauty tonight, obviously, it's his all-around game, but tonight, you know, you come 3 assists shy of a triple-double. Let's get to our Buick GMC Pro Vision, because he filled up the entire stat sheet tonight. It's one thing if you say, hey, man, he's a really good rebounder, scores right at the rim, but you can see everything that he's able to do to impact winning.
And then you think about the game last night. He was on the floor at the end there, and everybody was a little bit maybe exhausted, because it is take your shot, big fella.
Yeah, and you saw some of those assists that he had. Like, that's a big old quarterback.
No
you know
question.
what I mean? I mean, he's throwing those things on a rope. You know,
if you've seen his biceps, you know why he can throw it on a rope.
Exactly.
His pinpoint accuracy, his willingness to be a passer. Like I said, the accountability that he holds himself to get his teammates involved, to help this team win, to be productive and impactful. You just can't say enough about JD.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Obviously, continues to put forth, you know, a campaign for most improved. Just a tremendous season that he continues to put forth. And as he mentioned in the interview, you know, that you can't replace everything with Cade Cunningham being out, and again with Isaiah Stewart being out, and Paul Reed got into some early foul trouble, so they had to lean on some heavy minutes from JD, and he showed out. Only missed 2 shots from the floor. You know, if it is a by committee approach, you know, we talk on a lot of nights like who's going to be that secondary scorer. Tobias Harris, you know, the term that's been used, and I hate to keep going back to it, but like when JB talks about him, you know, like the security blanket.
Yeah.
But that's a term of endearment because of just the way he's able to, you just feel comfortable when he's got the basketball in his hands. We'll get to our Xfinity highlights and talk Tobias Harris, because I just felt like his game tonight, it's almost like rinse, lather, repeat. I think that's the order.
Rinse, lather, and repeat.
Isn't that it?
Old reliable is what they ought to call this guy, but he's too young to be called old reliable. Quite frankly, he's one of those guys, if you coach Bickerstaff, you're happy with his consistency. He's not going to come out of a bag and surprise you doing anything out of the ordinary. He's not going to go off script of what Tobias Harris is. He's going to shoot open shots. He's got post-up ability. He's going to dribble drive. All of those things that impact Piston winning, he's able to do on a consistent basis. Again, as a coach, you love the fact that he's not going to surprise you.
In the fourth quarter, it felt like the momentum flipped from up 4 to double digits pretty quickly. How did the team defense fuel that stretch?
It's that for us every night, right? And sorry to sound, repetitive, but, I thought, in the third quarter, we did a lot of really good things. And then, towards the end of the quarter, we started slipping. The guys got together, had a conversation, and then we turned it back up defensively. And, again, when we do that, we can compete and beat anybody.
With CADE out, it's obviously been more by committee, but tonight, 30-plus assists as a group from all different guys. What did you like about the way just the ball was moving amongst the group?
Yeah, I think, the understanding of what we need to do to be effective on that end of the floor, the willingness to sacrifice, just to do the right thing. And it's amazing how many times the right thing is just throw the ball to the open man, right? It seems simple, but it's a concept our guys are, have bought into, and it puts the defenses in such a tough position. So the guys have bought into it, but it creates momentum. When everybody's touching it, right now there's more confidence in their shot and feel and all those things. So, it's great to be able to diversify that way.
On that same token, Duren tied his career high with 7 assists. We've seen the playmaking with him in spurts tonight was probably more on the extreme end for him. What did you like just about how he handled the ball and his decision-making throughout the night?
Again, I think, it's untapped potential. Being able to use him as a hub and put the ball in his hands, and let him make plays. The growth that he's shown this year offensively, has been through the charts. From reading coverages, reading rotations, being able to make the right read at full speed. He's just having a phenomenal year and continue to get better right in front of us.
Coach, what did you like about Kevin Huerter's performance tonight, especially considering there's been times since he's gotten here, he said that there was a conversation you had with him where you told him, your minutes might not come, but you're going to get your moment.
Yeah, it's, he is a very good basketball player, and it's our responsibility to try to figure out, how we get him on the floor because we know he's capable of helping us win. He just didn't get here at an easy time, right? Like where we were, as a team, but we knew that there was going to be a time and we would have to figure out a way to get his skill set on the floor. And he's getting it, and he's taking advantage of the opportunities. I love to see how aggressive he is, how free he's playing, how confident he's playing. And, again, he adds a different dimension to our group.
You can share about what Duncan Robinson's going through and what led to him not being able to play tonight.
I guess this morning woke up, a little sore, had the conversation, and just the right thing to do was to, give him an opportunity to rest because we didn't want to make it any worse.
How much more dynamic does the team kind of become when Huerter is playing at this level?
It adds a completely different weapon that teams have to focus on. You have to figure out how to eliminate the things that he does. But he's such a good basketball player that he just makes the right next play. And so it's difficult to figure that out. But his ability to move off the ball, his ability to attack the paint, get to the rim, hit in between shots, make threes, people have to account for him. And you got to adjust your defense to him. I think that's one guy that comes to my mind, but I don't think there's many guys that do what Asar does.
How does the recent play of Dennis Jenkins and Kevin Huerter affect the bench rotation moving forward as the team gets healthy and, as the season comes to a close?
Our depth is still going to be a weapon for us. In times like this, with so many bodies down, you see how important our depth has been. So that won't change for us. Thank you.
All right, Minnesota Timberwolves next on the schedule for the Pistons. We will